I'm about to show you what a $200,000 data analyst job looks like and what it takes to get there. In this episode, I'll explore 6 different data analyst jobs ranging from $25K to $200K. I'll explain what they pay, what you need to do to be qualified, and how you can actually land the job. Starting with the lowest paying data analyst job that I could find. Job number 1 is located in Fresno, California, and it pays, drumroll please, only $35,000. Well, technically it pays $17.69 an hour, and it's for a data specialist role for an analytics firm in California called Avenue Insights and Analytics. Now, technically this is a data specialist role, which isn't really quite a data analyst role, but often it's like the job right below a data analyst. You'll still be doing some sort of analysis and analytics, but it's also mixed with some manual analysis, like looking at things or some sort of data entry or data validation or something like that. The good news about that is it has less requirements, and we'll get to those requirements here in a second. But the bad news is it doesn't pay great. You can honestly make more starting out as a cashier at Buc-ee's than this job, but this job would help you get some relevant data experience on your resume, which is very beneficial. That would make landing a data analyst job down the road a lot easier. Anytime you can get the word data on your resume, it is a good thing. So at this job, you'd basically be ensuring data accuracy, finding leads from tax sheets, and making corrections for state and local governments, because that's actually what this analytics firm does. It comes into your state or local government and does some basic revenue and operations analysis for these local entities. Fun, I know. In terms of requirements, they are looking for someone with an associate's degree, attention to detail, and some sort of ability to do some sort of analysis and think critically. This job also strangely requires you to be bilingual with Spanish and English, which seems a little bit more specialized and niche than usual. Pero si puedes hablar español, you're good. Like I said, it's in California and it's on site. So even though it doesn't require a lot of previous experience, I think they're gonna have a hard time filling this role because the pay isn't great, it's on site, and there's that strict bilingual aspect that it's gonna make it really difficult to find the right person. I personally think that this role should pay more like something around $50,000 per year, not 35. By the way, all of these 6 jobs that we're looking at today, I found on my own data job board. It's called findadajob.com, and it's 100% free. It has a great search and filter widget on the left-hand side that allows you to search by title, company, salary, remote jobs. So if you're looking for a place to find less competitive data jobs in the US and Canada, be sure to check it out. Findadajob.com, 100% free. And just a real quick note, requirements on job descriptions, in my opinion, are more like wish lists than actual requirements. Basically, it's a way of companies saying, like, this is what we'd want in a perfect world with perfect candidates. But in reality, they're not even really likely to find one person that has all of those requirements. And if they did, the salary that they have listed on the job description or that they've allocated in the budget probably isn't enough to properly compensate this absolute unicorn of a data analyst. So my personal recommendation, and you're welcome to follow it or not, is whenever you're looking at job descriptions is to kind of look at them with blurry eyes, like kind of squint your eyes at it and look at the descriptions. If you fit, say 60%, 70%, 55% of the requirements, and you're actually like interested in the job, like genuinely, I think you should apply because you never know what might happen. And honestly, the hiring manager who rejects you the most is actually yourself. So go ahead and hit apply anyways. Okay, job number 2 is located in the great town of Pickerington, Ohio. And now I don't actually know if it's a great town. I've never even been to Ohio, but doesn't it just have like a lovely name and sound like a great place? Now, job number 2, it is a business and data analyst role for the American Motorcycle Association. And how freaking cool is that to work for the AMA, especially if you ride a motorcycle? It sounds pretty cool in my opinion, like fun job. This job pays between $55,000 and $60,000 per year. And if you heard me say that title and you were kind of like, what the heck did he just say? Then you are correct, because a business and data analyst title is a very interesting title. It's not really one that I've heard or seen very often, or actually ever. It's usually just like business analyst or just data analyst, or maybe like business data analyst combined in some cases, but certainly not business and data analysts. That's sort of weird. In fact, I searched LinkedIn jobs to see if I could find a similar titled role. And sure enough, there was absolutely no matches, at least in the market right now. And that made me even more curious because I was like, what the heck is going on here? So I went to the American Motorcycle Association's LinkedIn page and went to the People tab and searched for Analyst. By the way, side note, this is an absolutely great way to network and try to learn who actually is already inside the company and who might be able to give you a referral for any jobs that you apply for. But when I searched for Analyst, sure enough, like no one popped up. And I think that there's no actual data analyst or business analyst working at this company right now. This very well might be this company's first data hire, or at least first in a while. I obviously can't be 100% sure here, and I could be wrong, but based on the very strange title and no other analysts that I could find on LinkedIn working for this company, my guess is they don't really know what they want or exactly what they're doing. Once again, I could be wrong, but that is my gut feeling that this company is kind of new in the data maturity space. But that's my gut feeling that this company is kind of new to the whole data thing. All right, regardless, in this role, you'd be working with stakeholders to maintain and analyze data, to identify trends, and to work on some business processes. They are asking for a bachelor's degree in business or computer science or analytics or something similar. And they also want 1 to 3 years of experience in some sort of analytics. They want you to be proficient in Excel, SQL, Power BI, or Tableau. And once again, when they're saying Power BI or Tableau, or even like having Excel, SQL, Power BI, and Tableau be all in the same sentence here, it's kind of hinting that they don't have a very mature data team because like just take Power BI and Tableau, for example. Usually a small company like this, it only has like 100 employees, would only have Tableau or Power BI, not really both. Large companies, they often have both, but they're both very expensive. And so smaller companies usually pick one or the other. Now, it's not always the case, but that is my gut feeling. And so they probably don't know which one to choose. And so maybe that would be something that you would influence them on. Now, if you're learning Tableau, learning Power BI isn't hard. Like you'll be able to figure it out. And sometimes I feel like companies maybe list Power BI or Tableau because they're like, if you know one, you'll figure out the other. But I think that's actually pretty rare. And I don't think that's what's happening here. Anyways, this is a on-site role as well. And it's quite a bit lower than the average data analyst salary in the US, which is around $82,000. They're requiring a bachelor's degree, 1 to 3 years of experience, and the pay is a bit low for all of that. So despite that, I think you should apply anyways if you think that you fit maybe like 60% or maybe even 50% of the requirements for this job. The pay that they're listing is much more entry level than their actual job description. And with their data maturity being probably pretty low, you might be surprised on the bites that you could possibly get in applying for a job like this. All right, next we have job number 3. This is the $75,000 job, and it is in Woodridge, Illinois. It's for a company called Mahoney Environmental Solutions. And this job is right around the average data analyst salary between $72,000 to $77,000. The title of this role is Data Visualization Analyst. And now I purposely chose different titles for each of these 6 jobs that I'm showing you just to illustrate that if you're only looking for data analyst roles, you're probably missing out on like more than half of the job market. But I really do like this role. I think it is quite interesting. Now, this company, Mahoney Environmental Solutions, they're pretty interesting too, because at first I was like, okay, environmental company, they probably do something like climate change or water purification or like toxic something or other, right? But after looking at their website, I was totally surprised, and I think you'll be surprised as well. It looks like they basically specialize in one thing and only one thing, which is removing used cooking oil. And I think that just goes to show that you can land a data job, a data role in any industry for any company that does all sorts of different things, right? Like from Chuck E. Cheese to Apple. I don't know. Sometimes we just think that like, oh, it's only Facebook or that hires like data analysts. But like even this company that's just doing like grease removal, they'll hire data analysts. So interesting. Data is literally everywhere, you guys. You just got to look for it. This role, based on the description, sounds like you'd be building a lot of Power BI reports on the operations side of the business. It actually is quite a big business. They have lots of locations all over the US. It does sound like there is some sort of queries that may or may not need to be written to join a bunch of their data sets together in order to visualize it in Power BI. Requirements wise, you're looking at 2+ years of experience with Power BI, DAX, and SQL. And they also say that Python is preferred. They do mention that they're looking for someone with a BS in data science, computer science, or a similar field. Once again, you need to look at, or I guess really in your case, hear all those job descriptions with your eyes squinted. This is just a wish list for a unicorn. Divide everything by 2, and if that's you, apply. If you have any bachelor's degree at all, I personally think that fits the similar field requirement for the education, and I say apply. Go for it. To me, this role is a bit more than an entry-level role, so I think the pay should honestly be closer to about $90,000 per year. But it does seem like a pretty interesting job for an interesting company. So if you're in Illinois, this might be a good fit for you. Moving on to job number 4, and it's actually right next door to job number 3 in Chicago, Illinois, and it's with the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry, which, who knew? It is the largest and most interactive science museum in the Western Hemisphere. Pretty cool, right? Once again, like, what a crazy company and what an interesting industry. I would never have thought that like museums are going to hire data analysts, but apparently they do. This role is for a senior financial analyst role, and it pays just shy of $100,000. The salary range is between $90,000 to $95,000. And you'll notice, if you're paying attention, that we've actually crossed into the senior role territory. And now, just because a role is senior doesn't mean that it's going to pay more than like a non-senior role. There are lots of different factors, like where you're located, what your experience is, what the company does, what industry they're in, so on and so forth. With that senior jump, we also are making that 6-figure jump, or at least we're getting close to it. In this role, you'd be managing all of the financial and planning for the company. You'd be reviewing budget reports, doing some pricing analytics, and predicting future revenue. If you're an accountant or you've worked in banking or any sort of like financial role in the past, this type of role, like a financial analyst role, would be an awesome fit for you with your previous experience. Now, I will say the requirements for this role are pretty crazy. It has the most strict and the highest bar of requirements, which is a bit weird considering we still have the $125,000 job and the $200,000 job left. They want a bachelor's degree in finance or accounting. Okay, that's fine. That's standard, right? But with 6 to 8 years of related experience. Plus, they say public accounting experience or an MBA are a plus. And in terms of what skills they're interested in, they want Power BI, SQL, and advanced Excel financial modeling skills. And just as a side note here, and pretty interesting one as well, this is the only time a graduate degree will be mentioned in any of the job descriptions that I read today, even the $200,000 job. So if you're considering a master's degree, just know that anecdotally, out of the 6 jobs that we randomly pulled today, a master's degree was only mentioned once, and it was mentioned as a plus, not as a requirement. Now back to the job. As a common trend, I think the pay is a bit low for what's being required, especially if you already have an MBA. But one thing to consider here, and for all these jobs as well, is the cost of living. One of my favorite tools is the cost of living salary calculator from NerdWallet. It lets you put in your current salary and your current location and where your new location would be, and it would display what the actual salary would be according to the cost of living in that new place. So this job would be 6 figures if it was in, say, California. Now we've officially crossed the 6-figure mark, and we are moving to our $125,000 job, or job number 5. And it's in the sunny state of California in the beautiful city of Newport Beach. It's a senior investment operations data analyst, that is a mouthful, with Pacific Life Insurance Company. And it pays between $111,000 and $135,000 per year. Now, you've maybe heard of this company before, and in the name, it's evident. It's a life insurance company. So analytics is really important because this business, this whole industry, is basically one big math problem. The odds of you dying and how much the payout would be to your benefactors, so on and so forth, based off previous conditions and your current health. In this role, you'd actually be analyzing more financial data. A lot of financial data in this video, don't know why. You'd be creating and redefining dashboards for all of that data, talking to stakeholders, validating the data for accuracy and consistency as well. They're asking that you have a bachelor's degree in finance, or the famous line here, similar field or equivalent experience, and 5+ years of experience with SAP, Power BI, Power Query, Excel, and SQL. Remember guys, squint at these. Don't take it word for word. I actually think this pay is honestly pretty realistic. I think it's pretty fair. Maybe they should add on an extra $10,000 because cost of living in California is quite high, but I actually think especially the upper end is fairly reasonable. And I actually think that you could land this role with 3 years of experience, not the 5. Once again, that's how I'd personally squint at this role, and I would apply if I had 3+ years of experience. Surprisingly, this role also requires more experience than our last and sixth job does pay nearly $200,000. It's just down the road in Santa Monica, California. And it's a company that you've definitely heard of and probably used. Snap. Yep, Snapchat. You know, the app that all the teenagers use to like send those like pictures of their faces and say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Nothing much. Yeah, that company. This is a business intelligence engineer role, and it actually pays, and get ready here because this is a big range, it pays between $107,000 and $189,000 per year. I was right? That's a huge range. And why is it? Well, it's because this role might be remote friendly in California and Arizona. I'm not actually sure. The job description is very confusing, but Snap as a company actually has what's called geographic pay zones that vary your salary based on where you're located. So if you're located in Washington or California or New York City, you'll get paid in the A zone, which is the most. If you're in Austin, Chicago, Colorado, and a bunch of other states, not Utah, you are in the B zone, and all the rest of us are in the C zone, the lowest pay. Now, you'll notice that this is our first job description that we've had in the tech industry, right? We did the analytics firm, a motorcycle club, the grease removing service, a museum, and life insurance. And now we are in software, we're in apps, we're in like tech, right? That's one of the reasons you'll see a high pay, because tech does have high salaries. That's partially because they're really like in Seattle or LA or San Francisco, and the cost of living in those areas is quite big. But also, this role doesn't have a huge barrier to entry. They're only asking for a bachelor's degree in computer science, math, physics, or related field. That's what they all kind of have asked for, right? Or equivalent years of experience, whatever that means. But they're only really asking for 3 years of experience. And minimum, you should know SQL and Python. One thing that I really liked that Snap did with this job description, and this is becoming more popular, but still a lot of companies aren't doing it, is they put the minimum qualifications and then the preferred qualifications. Like I said, not a lot of companies are doing this, but it makes the process for the job seeker so much easier. Like that whole squinting thing I talked about, basically doing the squinting for you. It's telling you what you need to know and where you can get a leg up if you do know any of these things. For this particular job, in the preferred section, they're asking for experience in BigQuery, Git, Airflow, and ETL type processes. And in terms of salary, I feel like this is a pretty fair salary. I mean, obviously it's a huge range, but with 3+ years of experience, I do think it is pretty good. So there you have it, our 6 different salaries ranging from $35,000 all the way to $200,000 per year. Now, I can already hear some of you guys in the comments asking, you know, all these jobs that we looked at ranging from $35,000 to $200,000 a year, they all required some college degrees, most of them bachelor's. You're probably going to ask, are there any jobs that don't require degrees? And the short answer is yes, there are. They are less common, but they do exist. I actually made this playlist here with some interviews of people who were able to land jobs without degrees. It'll be right here on your screen, or if you're an audio listener, it'll be in the show notes down below. And the other half of you are probably going to comment in the comments, you know, where do I start? What skills should I start with? What should I be focusing on? And I have a great episode for you here that will help you get started learning your tech skills, where to actually start. So just click right here, or you can find it in the show notes. Thanks for listening.